Come on in. Welcome to Idled Out, where we talk all things Survivor. My name is Luke, and today we're talking about the most awkward rewards in Survivor history. Rewards on Survivor are supposed to be good. You just want a challenge. You're supposed to have a fun time eating, sightseeing, partaking in the local culture. You're not supposed to cringe until your eyes bleed. While most rewards in Survivor history are just that, rewarding, these 5 rewards were not. And what was intended as an enjoyable reprieve from the game turned into anything but. So pop in a VHS of Treasure Island, get your weird sister, and grab yourself a cold one as we take a look at the most awkward rewards in Survivor history. At number 5 is an awkward date with Jeff, won by Kelly at the final 5 of Survivor Borneo. I mean this with love. Borneo is many things, but polished is not one of them. And perhaps that is why this is the first of 2 reward wins from Survivor's first season on this list. At the final 5, the reward, as explained, seems pretty decent. A visit to a local bar where you can kick back with some beers and pasta and join Jeff in watching the first 5 minutes of this very season. Sounds good, right? Wrong. Jeff and Kelly's little drink date is very bizarre, as they awkwardly make small talk over how the game is going while eating some of the most unappetizing pasta I've ever seen. Jeff has simply not fully stepped into the role of Survivor host at this point. He lacks the authority and gravitas that he would eventually grow into. Here, he kinda just comes off as some guy.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Watching this is like sitting at a bar and there's a very awkward hinge date going on at the next table over. It's worth noting that this was not the original reward. The original reward was a single bottle of beer, which the cast revolted against. This is day 35 for God's sake. A single Bud Light is not going to cut it. So to placate the survivors, production hastily threw together the Survivor Bar, filled it with crew members, and said, good enough. At number 4 is an awkward movie in bed between Colby, Danielle, and Amanda in Survivor Heroes vs. Villains. It's the final 9 of Heroes vs. Villains, and with basically his only ally JT having just gone out in embarrassing fashion, Colby has never been more demoralized. Other than the time he was manhandled by Coach, and the time James called him Superman in a fat suit. And the time when you Google Heroes vs. Villains Colby right now and it asks you if Colby is in a wheelchair. Okay, this is definitely in the top 5. In episode 9, Colby scores a rare challenge win with Danielle and Amanda in what is probably the only challenge Old Man Colby could actually be competitive in this season: Shuffleboard. They win an overnight trip to the former home of Treasure Island author Robert Louis Stevenson, and a screening of the 1934 film version of that story in Stevenson's bed. None of the 3 seem terribly excited about all this, and you can see the profound disinterest in their eyes as they tour Stevenson's home. Amanda looks even more bored than usual. And so, while watching the film in bed, Amanda and Danielle both begin looking for an idle clue, which Danielle finds in the popcorn. What follows is truly embarrassing to watch, as Amanda gets up and sits next to Danielle and steals the clue, leading to a weird wrestling match as the 2 women get increasingly physical over the clue, while a nearly catatonic Colby just lay in bed beside them. The awkward fight and Colby's complete and utter apathy are low-key hilarious, and when they go to him to referee over who owns the clue, Colby drops a line that honestly summarizes his entire game this season.
I didn't even see what happened. I was watching Treasure Island.
Amanda ultimately gives the clue back and is voted out later that episode, which, well, what can you expect when your allies are practically in the fetal position while you're fighting for your life in this game? At number 3 is another very strange movie date between Frank and Brandon in Survivor Africa. The dynamic between Brandon and Frank is like Diet Rich and Rudy, two people from completely different walks of life who would never interact in the real world, thrust together on the same tribe. Undoubtedly not by coincidence. These two were combative basically from the very beginning, and while it's never explicitly stated, Frank is extremely conservative and repeatedly talks about his old-fashioned values, and we all know what that means. Hint: it's not taking your hat off indoors and keeping your elbows off the dinner table. Unlike Rich and Rudy, Brandon and Frank never grew to respect one another. They never grew to like each other. In fact, Brandon only grew to dislike Frank more as the game went on, and in fact intentionally destroyed his own game to ensure Frank would lose. So it was very awkward when these two were randomly paired together in a reward challenge at the final 8. A romantic date night watching the film Out of Africa. And it's even more awkward when they win. The thing about Frank is, he's just a weird guy. There's no other way to put it. No one else on Survivor has ever been like him, except maybe Wendy Jo? He just has homeschooled for generations vibes, you know? The man was there to carry wood from the left side of the screen to the right. He was not there for silly, inefficient activities like socializing. Can I go? This is cutting into my wood carrying time. Anyway, now that we understand Frank, back to the reward. I just love how this is edited. Upbeat music plays over scenes of the two of them watching the film, interspersed with confessionals from both, talking about how unpleasant they found the experience. It's even better when you realize the film is nearly 3 hours long. At the end, Frank seemingly vows to never speak of the experience again, and I would bet you that to this day, he never did.
Yeah, the company could have been better, but we simply had popcorn, we had pop, we watched a movie, it's history, it's over with, let's move forward.
What happens in Africa stays in Africa. At number 2 is a very odd movie from home in Survivor Borneo. Look, there have been some weird family visits in Survivor history. Spencer Bot discovering love, sister, Kat and her cousin breeding together.
We work together, we live together, we breathe together.
But none are as awkward as this. Survivor's first loved one's reward, a tape from home. Before the reward challenge, Jeff gives the players a taste of what they're playing for and shows them all a clip from their tape. Oh, there's Hatch's son. That's cute. Sue's husband. Adorable. Jervis's daughter. Aw. Then we get to Greg's sister.
Just remember who loves you, sister. And she's thinking of you.
That was cute. Wait, what? It's just enough to give a taste of the Buis weirdness to come. And when Greg actually wins the reward, the full tape, it gets even more bizarre.
I miss you very much, Mom. That's right, Ping Ping. How's Phantom?
This feels like watching the tape from The Ring. Like something deep within me feels as though I fundamentally should not have viewed this. In fact, I'm only showing you this now so that I can pass on the curse. Greg continues the incestuous charade in his tape back to his sister, inadvertently predicting the next few decades of online adult entertainment in the process. I'll admit, it's funny in an irreverent, boundary-pushing Gen X sort of way, but also it's pretty weird. One thing's for sure, I'm sure as shit not answering a ringing phone for the next 7 days.
Muka Luka Mau Mau Ping Ping.
The most awkward reward in Survivor history is a viewing of Jack and Jill in Survivor South Pacific. Not only is this the absolute worst reward in Survivor history, and I'll accept no arguments otherwise, but Sophie's stone-cold reaction to it, juxtaposed against Coach ringing some sort of profound message out of this Adam Sandler craporama, also makes this the most awkward Survivor reward of all time. It is actually hilarious that this is the final pre-merge reward challenge this season. South Pacific's pre-merge was an epic showdown between Savaii and Apollo, and this season is one of a handful of times when the two tribes alternated immunity wins the entire season. You'd think the final reward challenge for such an exciting and evenly matched pre-merge would be something good. Instead, it's more of a punishment than anything, as Upolu wins and is subjected to Adam Sandler's latest bowel movement. It's so funny that this is basically an ad for this upcoming movie, and they still can't get any footage where eventual winner Sophie looks like she's having any fun. This isn't a reward, it's a hostage situation. However, the awkward coup de grace comes courtesy of Coach, who shows why he played 3 times in as many years, where he somehow squeezes a message out of a movie where Adam Sandler dresses like an overweight woman and farts and falls over a lot.
It was good because it was funny, but at the same time, there was a message, and the message was, hey, family comes first. It's a great message for us to be reminded that going into these days to come, it will get tough. It will get to be a point of compromise. But we have to be uncompromisable as a unit.
You'll be shocked to learn that Coach later admitted he hated the film and that this was for the cameras. Nothing about this reward isn't the most awkward thing ever. Between Sophie's stone-faced displeasure, Albert's Coach light applause, you know full well this man was also just yucking it up for the cameras, Rick and Brandon's braying laughter, and Coach selling his soul to a corporation for a cheap buck. Anyway, now I'd like to talk to you about this video's sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. Got nothing else for ya. If you love me as much as the Buis siblings love one another, like and subscribe and I'll get you more Survivor content just like this. Until next time, don't get idled out.